In 2008, a cracked-out sports talk show was sent to prison by a military court for a crime they didn't commit: the comedic murder of Oakland Raiders owner Al Davis. These men promptly escaped from a maximum security stockade to the Los Angeles underground. Today, still wanted by the government, they survive as soldiers of fortune. If you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can find them, maybe you can hire the AO Team. Audibly Offensive Radio, Tuesdays and Thursdays from 1 to 2 p.m. Central on WWPM MediaNet.
Audibly Offensive Radio is recorded in front of a live studio audience. No, it's not. Sounded cool, though.
Let's go ahead and bust out the Audibly Offensive Radio mailbag, brought to you each and every week by ElectricDemon.com. Web hosting, contact Mark at ElectricDemon for all your web hosting needs. Again, ElectricDemon.com, the official online supplier of Audibly Offensive Radio. Guys, this one comes to us from Kevin over in Tampa, Florida. At the end of the day, what is the legacy of Joe Paterno? I got a feeling Lemke's going to have the more not so subtle answer on this one. Let's just go ahead and get it out of the way, because this ought to be good. Lemke, you're up.
Let me get the seriousness out of the way first. Okay? I'm going to specifically remember Joe Paterno the same way that I remember O.J. Simpson, the same way that I remember Michael Jackson and Roman Polanski and, different people of that ilk, and he is of that ilk. I appreciate him as a coach. I deplore him as a man. I will listen to Billie Jean and say, man, that was a great song. I hope he burns in hell. I appreciate Joe Paterno was able to coach a football game. I hope he burns in hell. And this comes from an atheist. I actually hope that I'm wrong, just so that he burns in hell.
Nice.
I'm sorry. Maybe I have a slightly different view on it because I have a kid. But if somebody touches a kid, everyone around that person that made it culpable is the worst human beings alive. And Joe Paterno just saying, oh, well, I only heard this and this. I'm sorry, Todd, I know that you want to take a positive opinion of the guy. Read the deposition. He knew what was going on. His own words. And he decided, well, first off, I'm going to wait till Monday because I don't want to ruin anyone's weekend. If that's the level of priority that you want to put someone else's future, then I have no time for you.
Well said. Well said. Lundy, what say you, my friend?
I guess I'm more G-rated than Lemke.
You're always more G-rated.
Everyone's more G-rated than Lemke. Andrew Dice Clay is more G-rated than Lemke.
Oh, well.
This is true. Yeah,
unfortunately, it's kind of like somebody who's building shit with a deck of cards. It takes time, and you sit there and you admire, oh, that's nice work, but people are going to remember that one card. Once it gets pulled, everything goes to complete shit. And unfortunately, that's what happened here at the tail end of his life. I think the 5% of this scandalous thing that's going on right now is going to overshadow the 95% that he did in terms of helping students graduate, get on with their lives, and put people in the NFL, and just be that father figure to a lot of different people. So great person, great coach, but I think this is going to cast a big cloud over his legacy.
I agree, and I honestly and truly, I think 5% is being generous. I think with how long he had been at Penn State, I think, and what little time frame you're talking about, not just in the last couple of months, but maybe the last decade. You're and everything that he's done for the university and for a lot of people, I think it's going to be a lot less than 5%. But do I think that diminishes it in any way, shape, or form? Absolutely not. You can look. Whoa, hang on, Chris.
I'm sorry.
Chris,
I get angry about this guy.
Yeah, but I'm not trying. I'm not taking the high road here. just wait, because normally you're right. I do take the high road. I'm not taking the high road now. Just do me a favor. Sit down and shut up for about 2 minutes.
That's really hard for me to do.
I know it is.
I
know it is. You and I. This is why we need a moderator every once in a while, because you and I usually talk over each other so damn much. Here's the thing, though. Yes, he is an enabler, and this is something that I cannot abide by. For all the things that he did good, he made one mistake, and it was a big one. I mean, you're talking about so many things that you can do right in life. You could be a good husband. You could be a good father. You could be a good man in terms of being a good teacher. For all the things that you did right, one catastrophic mistake like that can ruin everything. Let's take a look at someone like John Wooden. Better yet, let's take Bob fucking Knight. Everything that Bob Knight did as a coach, Bob Knight did as a leader, was tarnished because of the way he interacted with his players. But you look at someone like Krzyzewski, you look at someone like John Wooden. For everything that they did well, and every wonderful thing that their former players and in Krzyzewski's case, current players say and said about him, one massive mistake could have easily turned the tide. I mean, look at another great example. Look at Bear Bryant. Paul Bryant, amazing football coach, racist as the day is long. Completely racist as the day is long. Chris Lundy, you would not have been allowed to even get near that football team if you were a student during his heyday.
Well, I think his motto was, we won't be the first, but we'll be the second.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, he valued winning over making a political stand, which needed to be made. Paterno, I wouldn't say valued winning over anything else. He just essentially turned a blind eye to one of the most despicable things that a human being could do. At the end of the day, yes, that will define his legacy. 409 wins, 2 national championships, God knows how many players that actually made an impact in the NFL, including friend of Audibly Offensive Radio, Michael Robinson with the Seattle Seahawks. But at the end of the day, this one mistake ruins everything. OJ, Michael Jackson, same instances. OJ killed 2 people. He went from being the juice to a punchline. Joe Paterno, unfortunately, is now going to be a punchline from here until the end of our generation.
I still disagree. I still don't think that he put winning above everything.
No, I'm not
else.
saying he did. He just flat out turned a blind eye to everything.
I'm saying that's not even, that's the worst thing. That's not the only thing, though. Look, this guy just died. And people are reporting it that, he just got cancer. No, let's be realistic here. He's been dying for a while. He's had this for a while.
Right.
In April, he transferred all of his stuff, all of his financial things to his wife. This was writing on the wall. This was a guy who wasn't going and recruiting players. He wasn't doing anything outside of the office. He was only doing Penn State-related things that he wanted to do. He was letting this football program down. The year that they had was, look at the first half of their schedule, and you understand why they were winning games. But he put himself and his pride over everything else. And he was going to leave this university high and dry no matter what. No matter what. Because obviously he didn't have enough faith in Tom Bradley as a coach. He knows that his son wasn't good enough as a coach. He was going to leave a void that fit in his shape, and he wanted to do it on his own terms.
Well, after 40-something
years,
was going
to hurt this program.
Don't you think he's earned the right to at least go out on his own terms?
If you're sick, if you can't even... if you can't even go and recruit.
Both of you, time out. Let Lundy finish making his point, Lemke.
I can't hear very well on this phone, so
I know.
I can't tell when somebody's interjecting.
All right, Lundy.
Before the scandal, You look at what Joe Paterno's done. Like you said earlier, 2 national championships, countless players and people in the NFL and all that stuff. He's earned that right. Don't you think he has earned that right to go out on his own terms?
No.
No?
No.
So if that was you, you wouldn't be you don't think you'd be able to go out on your own terms?
No. If I'm not doing my job, no. He was not doing his job.
He's got a point on that.
He was doing the bare minimum. He was showing up.
They
and doing
appreciated
the
it?
bare minimum. Yeah, of course they appreciated him. He brings tons of money to the university. But the recruits weren't coming in.
What do you mean the recruits weren't coming in?
Now, he was not going and traveling. He was not doing anything that a coach needs to do to build your program for years. Look at his recruiting. He has not left the university in 5 years. He was Skyping and stuff occasionally, if he felt like it. He was not going to all of the meetings. He was not being there to lead any of the team practices. He was showing up for the games and sitting in the press box because he was that sick. That's not doing your job. And if you can't show up and do that, then you shouldn't have a job. He was a selfish old man.
Okay.
I'm going to be honest. I can't argue against it. No, don't get me wrong. I don't necessarily agree with you on that one, Lemke. But at the same time, I
appreciate him as a coach. But the man that he was as a coach was gone for a long time.
Yeah. Like I said, I can't give you any evidence to against to contradict your statement.
Tom Bradley's been an interim coach for a lot longer than just this past couple weeks.
Oh, I know. I absolutely know. Guys, we do need to go ahead and move on. Kevin, thank you for the email. We appreciate it. We're 20 minutes into the show. We've already killed off. Well, that was a bad choice of words. We've already just gone through the mailbag, so we do need to.
Did Todd say anything about Joe Paul last week?
Do what?
Did Todd say anything about Joe Paul last week?
Well, over the course of the last week? No,
over the show.
I can't remember.
Is there any way that we can pin this on the assassin?
We'll find some way.
Hold on. Hey, guys, hold on. Moment of silence, real quick. I have a question. Is Todd here this week?
No. Oh my God! What did he do to Joe Pa?
Blame it on the guy that's not here.
Sodomize him because I won't tell anybody.
All right. Okay, guys, let's make a pact right now. No matter what happens, if the cops come asking, it's Bob and Reed's fault.
Absolutely. They were just horsing around.
Hey. Todd is now Butters.
Wow.
Todd is Butters. With the three of us, Lemke, you're going to have to be Cartman because you're the biggest one of the three.
Oh, go fuck yourself.
Hey, you're not fat like you used to be, but you're still larger than the two of us.
You could be the Jew then.
All right, I can be the Jew. Lundy's gonna have to be token, so there you go. But anyway, at the end of the day, Todd is Butters. We have to blame it on him. Ready? Break. Kevin, thank you for the email. The email address is, as always, Lundy at audibly.offensive.com, Chris at audibly.offensive.com, or Pat at audibly.offensive.com. And you can follow all three of us on Twitter. Lundy at Warm It Up Chris 10, Lemke at AO Lemke, and me at AO Radio.
The following announcement has been paid for by Audibly Offensive Radio. Okay, that's wrestling reference number one. The guys at Audibly Offensive Radio have made it a point to keep track of them every week on their show, which you can hear Tuesdays and Thursdays from 1 to 2 p.m. Central on WWPM Media Net. While Pat, Todd, Krista, and both Chris's cover the week's biggest sports stories, they occasionally break off into a tangent. Like, did you realize that 9 wrestlers from the 1992 Royal Rumble are dead? That's 9 out of 30. Holy shit, man. Okay, I digress. It's the show that's changing sports podcasts. Audibly Offensive Radio. Tuesdays and Thursdays from 1 to 2 p.m. Central on WWPM Media Net.